All righty, thank you. Welcome back from recess. Before we start with the auditor's budget, I'd like to give the treasurer the podium. He has some news for us.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I did want to bring this up. I just finished August, the interest for August, calculating all that. Got in all the reports from the different financial institutions. For August, we're at $270,366. Which brings us now to a total of for the year so far in 8 months, $2,024,003. So a little above what we're kind of projecting. Looking at trending out the rest of the year, unless there's big rate changes between now and the end of the year, we should be probably somewhere in the neighborhood of probably a little over 3.2 million on that. So also for next year, looking at some of the rates and what we're doing on that. I think we're at revenue forecasted for next year was 2 million even, and I'm thinking closer to 2.311 million. So
That would be a $300,000 increase for next
yeah,
year.
311,000. Yeah.
Well, it's currently sitting at 2,011,000.
Oh, is it okay? So yeah, it'd be a 300,000.
300,000.
In addition to the full 500 you talked about.
No, hold on. I'm getting ready to ask him to clarify. The 2 million was turned in for this year's.
Yes.
And what number are you comfortable with saying that we can expect?
I'm gonna say 3.1.
So we can raise that revenue by 1.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Does everybody have that number? Raising it from 2 million to 3.1, so raising it 1.1 for 2025. Yep.
So instead of 500,000, you're saying 1,100,000?
Yes. Yes.
So we're
Yeah.
changing it then? Because yesterday I thought we were changing it to 1.5.
Did, and now we're.
Okay, just making sure.
So for July through December of this year, I'm showing that you are saying 2,105,500 is your estimate for July through December.
How much again? I'm sorry.
2,105,500.
No. 'Cause it was about 1.5 through January through June, and then July. At the end of July, we had 1.753 in there, and then we're adding 270,366 this month, and then we still have 4 more months to go. So I'm looking at probably going to be another million, 1.1 maybe, to get it to, for 2025, we will end probably about 3.1. Yeah, so,
Well, that's for the whole year of 2025, right?
yes,
Okay, well,
3.1.
our paperwork for budget,
right.
we are only
Doing
considering July through December.
Okay,
So we're trying to come up with the,
We're
originally
gonna
you
be-
gave us 1,005,500 for July through December. So I'm trying to get to the
Okay.
bottom dollar.
Okay, so the 5,500 is from the other revenue that we bring in for the mobile homes. So this, I'm just talking interest.
The 5,500 then should be on a different line, shouldn't it? Elizabeth and Whitney?
A
R,
1,500.
It was,
wasn't it?
yeah, or maybe, yeah, it was, I know it was, yeah, it was 1,500 for the mobile home permit for the rest of the year.
That wouldn't have anything to do with this line
No,
that we're
it does
looking
not.
at.
That does not.
So Tanya, the first half of the year was projected to have roughly $1 million in income from interest.
Mm-hmm.
and Brad's saying he reached 1.5 million for the first half. And going to do the exact same thing for the second half. How do we account for that 500,000 from the first half of the year then? That was over expected.
This is just a projection.
Right.
We don't
That-
need to count that 500.
No, it's what you got, it's already accounted for
It's
in
account-
what's been collected
In the cash
Cash
balance.
January through June.
Cash balance.
So that's already collected. So this is just an estimate on July through
And
December.
what was the number that we originally put in?
1,005,500.
So
500.
1,005.
500.
Okay. That's,
What, are you talking about from yesterday?
no, the very beginning,
That was just 1 million.
right through December.
I'm getting it from the form too.
It says 1,000,055. 1,000,000.
We're all looking at the exact same thing.
No, 1,005,000.
1,005,500.
1005, comma 500.
Yes.
Okay. You get that? It's right here.
So to be clear now, from July to the end of December, you're expecting 1.6 million to come in. July 1 to December 31.
Oh, I know what's happening. Your accounting for clerk's amount is in there too.
And you said, is that yes?
It will be a
Brad?
1.6, yeah.
So
Is that
our
nine?
increase for July through December of 25 is gonna be
Six-
600,000.
600, yeah, about 610,000 probably.
All right. And then if
Yeah.
you covered 2026 also,
Yes, so looking at
you already,
2020,
you already told us all. I just wanna make sure everybody's
Right,
got
yeah.
the numbers that he's
Yeah.
increased that. He believes 300,000 would be a safe estimate.
to get it to 2.3, yes.
So we're on 600,000 in increased revenue for 2025.
5, yes.
Correct.
6 or 610.
600,000.
600,000.
266.
Okay.
So now we're also saying for 2026, you're saying an additional 300.
Correct, Brad?
Yes, yeah, because I put projections for next year about 2 million, and I think we'll be a
that
little
takes
over
our-
that, so. Even if they, like I say, if they drop the rates, I still think we're going to be still over the 2 million, unless they just
Right,
bottom out.
miscellaneous revenue up there.
300.
Yes.
So what are
Copy
we
that.
changing the numbers to? I'm lost.
This
We've
is
changed
what,
it 3
this is what
times.
I'm coming up with, and she clarified that this year we have some clerk's interest in there, is that what you said? Some
Yes.
kind of interest, okay, we didn't have that much. So anyways, that includes that, and that's where I was getting that odd amount there, that 5,500. So I'm coming up with 1,605,500 for 2025, or 902. Is that what Whitney and Elizabeth are getting?
I don't know because the number's been changed twice. That's why I'm asking for clarification.
Yes, that's the number I have.
What are we looking at? I was just putting in trying to come up with the total.
July through December of 2025. Interest revenue.
Okay, maybe I need to ask you. You're changing it from 1 million to what?
For this year,
Yes.
so it will go from 1 million to, God, now I'm all confused. 1.6, yeah.
1.6.
Yes, yes. So that's the 600,000. And then next year, changing from 2 million to 2.3 million. So overall change of 900,000.
That's the
That's
clerk's
also from
office.
clerk.
That's clerk, yeah.
All right, so then we have I'm trying to keep track of all the give backs and then the increases to the 2025 revenue, which now is increased to 600,000 additional. And then between what the jail said they would have increased revenue in 26 plus your increase in revenue in 26, I now have 330,000. Jail gave us yesterday 30,000 additional revenue.
I thought that was 300. You got just 30.
I got 300,000.
300,000? Cool. Then we will make it 300,000. I'll add a zero.
For next year.
Okay.
Perfect.
If you count 6 plus 3.
Yep.
But you just,
No.
you're in the jail.
Yeah, it's jail. Yeah. 300,000.
Folks interest.
Yeah, 600 for 25.
Right, plus another 3 for 2026.
So now this makes us jail and
I see what you're doing there.
yeah,
Sorry, I got
That's okay.
I'll be right back.
Are we caught up? Questions for Brad? Appreciate the update, Brad.
All right, not a problem.
now we're here. So based on, I still don't have Cambridge figured out.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. But I've had Matt look at this a couple of times to make sure we're trying to capture everything. So between what cuts we've made out of our levy funds, plus the give backs, the 2025 revenue increases, the 2026 revenue increases, that now gets us down at 2.9 remaining to cut. Matt was looking at the numbers we have on that other sheet. Do you want to explain what you were on this one? Cause I have that number too, so.
Well, where's Brad?
Who's Brad?
Come back.
I just asked, we have more questions for Brad.
I'm sorry, I had to talk to my job related to what I'm doing. We were just looking at this, so I know this is how you think. It's painful to look at for us though, kind of. But if you take the if you take the ending balance of 2025 as 7.478 and now add 600 grand to that, which I have not done yet. And then you have our taxes and revenue estimate at 38,095,000, right? That total equals, well, it did equal 45,573. And that is the number we want to deduct from the 6,500,000, which, based on what I had calculated, would be 44,595,080, which is comparable to what we have here. So we're trying to just simply shore up what the gap is. So I don't even think we bother with this yet until they're finished.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Cume Bridge anyway is probably the only one we really need right now. And then,
Well, County General's gonna adjust a tiny bit when we get to the auditor and ours, but yeah.
we've got to deal with the revenue number, I think. We have to deal with the max levy, we have to deal with any of this miscellaneous that we think is totally off before we say this is where our gap is. That's my opinion.
We also have to look at I've been trying to figure out where that 4% went away. The sheet they gave us is showing the property tax levy for 2025 at 29,500,000.
Yep.
According to DLGF, the current tax levy is 28,352,027. And then we've advertised 29,750, which is a 4.93% increase.
Which was probably based on the guidance you guys are listening to. probably the guidance you got from Baker Tilly about the gap in the property tax number, that 29,750. No,
DLGF.
DLGF?
or DLGF.
Okay,
Where did the 29.5 come from?
I can't find this. Can I borrow yours?
For 2025?
That's what it was.
According to DLGF, it was 28,352,027. Current tax levy, general.
Without pulling my stuff from 2025. But that had to have come off of a paper that looked like this from 2025. But you're saying you're looking at the final.
I'm looking at the local budget notice.
I only have the estimate.
That was the advertisement? Or is that the actual?
I don't have that.
This is the actual notice. This one's on DLGF, notice of tax levy.
For last year. For last year.
For this year, 2025. Public hearing date, September 3rd, adoption date, September 3rd, September 23rd. There's the 29,750. It shows the current general at 28,362, not 29,500.
Well, I had to move it from prior to that. Oh. Would have came off of our papers that we had from last year pertaining to our levy, but I thought we also checked
And that's,
our 1782.
that's what's in the amended budget order too, is the 28,352,027. They issued an amended budget order.
Well, if that's what it is, that's what it is, and we would need to redo that.
Which would get us 1,000,000.
Alls I can think is it had to have come off of these rather than, did we pull the 1782 when we were doing? No, were we looking at like these from last year? Yes. So that would have been our estimates rather than the actual. So we would need to redo that according to those.
Tanya, you talking about a number that would be on the Form 4B?
Not necessarily, no. He's
Okay.
looking at the comparison to last year
Mhm.
to see the difference. He's figuring out the difference. And
From our certified budget, is that what you're
like
looking?
when we
Certified
do our
budget order.
estimation, we believe we took this number from our estimation that we did last year rather than the actual after the fact, like after everything and then, you know what I'm saying? So on our figures, there would be like a larger difference between this year and last year.
If that's right, we'd pick up 1,147,973.
As far as difference on revenue, which is a good thing. I mean,
Mhm.
this
A
is
difference
good
on-
thing. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
It's not a good thing that we did it that way. I'm just saying it's a good thing.
It's a good thing for us in the moment,
Right,
right?
right.
What's the actual number that we're supposed to see?
He's saying, will you read that number?
The max certified levy,
Is that the property?
general
Tax.
only, this is just general. twenty twenty-five was 352,027 dollars. And then we advertised for 29,750,000.
So instead of 29.5 on your 2025 property tax levy amount, he's saying it was 28,352,27 as the actual, so this amount.
So
right
less
there.
revenue,
No, more revenue.
more revenue.
Now, I haven't looked for the,
This chart.
yeah,
Oh, we got that deal.
right across the street. Grand Oaks Accounts.
I didn't know where it was, right across the street.
Kind of across the street, about half a house to the west.
East, okay.
I might have put it in my.
I moved to, I was 14.
Well,
I had gone to McKinley, and it was my ninth grade year. So
Wait,
we moved.
wait,
moved
I
into
got it.
Okay. '65. He was 60, he was in grad school.
it's the levy. I think the levy.
Just to clarify, you were getting your numbers from that email that I sent you, right?
From,
That email that I sent you, you were looking at last year's?
no, I'm looking at DLGF, the notice to taxpayers, and it's also the same numbers on the amended budget order.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, did we only do 28.5 towards county general last year?
Instead of 29.5,
Yeah.
like a typo?
No, I think we put more towards county general this year just because it needed it. Did we do 28.5? Because they always try to get us as close to our max, but it's never exact.
Let me see if I got. let me look up. That's good.
I wish I did.
Page right now.
Nancy, I have a question for you based off what we briefly talked about
You don't
at
have the
break
sheet from last year.
on the inmate income for this year. Were you able to find an accurate amount and determine whether there could be an increase to the revenue for this year? Okay. Okay. I appreciate you looking. I just was curious, so thank you very much.
Levy for
Overall tax levy.
Okay.
I know, I was gonna say, but you come over here.
So I'm really getting confused.
Okay. This goes back into what Tanya said earlier about us going in over the max levy. Usually it comes off the top of county general,
Mm-hmm.
but we can pick where it comes off the top.
Right.
But last year it came off the top there, and it was 900,000-ish. That's how much it
Yeah,
was.
that sounds about right.
We still maybe should figure differently.
And you calculated
know what I mean?
already this year how much could come off the top?
We didn't because
Okay.
when we were building our chart,
That's not
you were like, it's too
really,
confusing.
you know what I'm saying?
And we were thinking that we probably weren't going to be able to take it off of general this year anyway. But we can't get that figured out.
I was just curious if you already had it calculated, that was all. So. I think we're ready to go into the auditor's budget when Tanya is ready.
So where did we leave this conversation?
Sounds like Tanya needs to do some more digging to verify.
They just did.
Okay, then explain it to Matt and I one more time, please.
Last year when we were doing our budgeting, we had that big colorful chart. We had about 900,000 that we were going over the max levy.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't calculate that this time. And it got taken off of the top of county generals last year. So that's where that big difference is coming from. The whole 900,000 did.
So we're not going in over max levy right now?
We are, but we didn't account for it in county general when we were doing our chart because we weren't asked to. That's why I said we can come up with the number, but we probably
And is
weren't
that the
gonna
Oh,
be
the
able.
amount we're going, I got that. The amount that we're over this year? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got it. That I do have. I don't know what I've done with my chart right there.
Is that the difference between the property tax levy and the max levy?
That's correct, 267 something.
$262,796.
Yeah, again,
$262,796.
One last time.
$262,796.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're not doing that, we're not doing more than that this year because,
That's just how it's all how it's computed in. So when you,
for us dummies, which is me,
let me keep this chart out.
when we say we're going in over the max levy, what is the impact? How much money we're bringing in?
Well,
The impact
It's
is
a-
if we don't go over the max levy, the state may adjust our levy moving forward and we'll get less. So you go over just a little bit so they don't cut you back.
Sure,
I
but
mean,
how does it actually, what is the end result of that?
They will send back a letter saying we've got to reduce it. And we find the 200,000.
Which is right here, like in that.
which is where nowadays they just take it off the general. You have time to come back and say, we don't want it out of general, we want it out of health, or we want it out of reassessment, or we want it out of Cambridge. But like I said, if you want it out of Cambridge, you have to get commissioner's approval for that. So, it doesn't mean you're going to go, it doesn't mean you're not gonna come out okay. It could be when all the CNAVs and the, circuit breakers are all actual numbers talliated, it could come back to where you're under your max levy and you're fine and nothing happens and you just, you're good to go. It's
As long as I've been on, we've been around the 200 to 250,000 over mark. Last year was probably the largest we've ever, that I can
Mhm.
recall going in over. But
and
it's-
even with that, they said that's totally normal
Yeah.
to do that.
Yep.
And Matt, to help you, your property tax levy is the estimated amount that they believe is going to come in for your general, your reassessment, your Cambridge, and your health. So, and like I said, 3 of them are based on a rate and 1 of them is figured on a percentage. So the percentage one is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And the rate is different as far as how it's calculated.
That answer your question?
The max levy. We'll just sit down and go over this.
It's okay. That's okay. When I go to get my tax count degree, I'll get that figured out.
Alrighty, Tanya, you ready to go over the auditors?
Oh,
Budget.
Lord. Okay. All right, so Ed was totally planning on preparing for this. So I'm kind of doing this on the fly, but I have gathered as much info as I can in hopes to answer any questions that you may have. And then, something while I'm sitting here. So to start out, like everyone else, of course, we put in our 4% increases. Of course, we would like to have them, you know, it's a repeat situation with everyone, I do believe. I think everybody always feels they deserve increases and want the increases and can justify the increases most of the time. So I won't keep going on about that. You just know that we want them. As far as our increase goes, you'll see a difference of 562,893 between last year and this year. But I would like to point out that our benefits that we had to put into our budget this year equal 660,376. So that is actually more. Our benefits equal more than what our actual requested difference is. So the difference on that was 97,483. We did already eliminate a position in our office that we did not fill as far as refill, and that was the senior plat room deputy. And we took someone who currently already worked full-time for us and was more working in one area and then moved them over to that area. Since then, you guys approved already a salary line in our budget. So it may look like we have a new employee, like, or asking for a new employee, but we are not. She's already been approved. So that is the grants and compliance deputy, and that's 122,101. So when you see that, that's not us asking for one, that's literally, she's already there. So that salary, without the increase, is 38.5, just to let you know. As far as any other changes in the salary, I have one, and I would really like you to leave it there, and that is the 111,101. You can see it's 38.5. You can see the increase instead of 1,540 like the rest of the people, it's 6,540. What that is, if you take away the 4% of 1,540, that's even $5,000. That is recording secretary. So we took a position that you guys used to pay a full-time salary plus all benefits plus longevity. And we turned it into something that was more useful for our office, I guess you could say, in order to combine this job that the WIS, the salary study, they filled this recording secretary as a part-time position. Well, we can't pay one person on a full-time line and a part-time line, like we can't like legally do that. We don't feel like it's a stipend because it's a job, you know what I mean? We literally paid someone full-time for it. So in the meantime, we have been paying for this position out of our ineligible standard deduction fund, which we generate revenue from double homesteads. That's the easiest way to explain that. But I would like to put this into general because it is a county employee who should be paid out of our normal county general budget. And she works for the commissioners and the council, even though she resides in the auditor's office. That's just how it's set up in the government. And what we used to pay out over, I don't know, 50-some thousand probably with salary of 34,443 plus benefits and plus a longevity that was probably at least $1,500. Now you guys, I would like to at least pay $5,000 for her to do this recording secretary job and tie it in with her title of insurance deputy. And I believe, I could be mistaken, but I believe Ed has already taken that to the HR committee that oversees the job description changes. Has he not? Okay, well,
He mentioned it, but it
okay.
hasn't
He
come
had,
through.
he had that and
It was the-
another one that
Yeah.
needs to go before the committee. So
We have one in,
I'll double check, but I don't think so.
So we were asking to combine those names and add
Oh, yeah, he
$5,000.
sent both of them, but we haven't reviewed them,
Okay. So he has
because
some,
they have to be combined. If approved.
so that's what that is. And then, like there's something else. Yes, the other one that we were gonna change the name on is 108-101. Instead of finance deputy, it'd be finance administrator. And that person will have some additional, a lot of additional roles, you could say, within the finance room, kind of learning a little bit of everything. And, be able to kind of oversee and make sure deadlines are being met and with all areas and like I said, be able to back up, in several different areas instead of just like a backup for one area, but kind of learn a little bit of everything. And she has been doing an excellent job of that without the title, without anything. She's just been doing an excellent job of that. She already knows the payroll. She's been learning benefits. She's been learning how to do the morning duties of the head bookkeeper. She's been learning a little bit of the claims. And then she's also participated in this whole budget process. So, I mean, she's definitely been putting in the work, and we just want to change the title because of how we see it. Just fits better as far as it's not exactly what the finance deputies do. It's more of an overseeing role of all of it and a backup for all of it. So those are the two name changes.
That also has not gone through.
Yeah, they would have been together, I'm sure. I keep part-time, I did ask for an increase on that. I will say I've been really frugal this year on my part-time because I was stressing out on part-time, and you guys know last year we had to move money, but we went through a great big huge transition in our office, everyone's well aware. But now things are smoothing out, and we were able to get an intern to help us out as far as part-time help that didn't cost us anything, and she was wonderful. Her time has ran out, but the only thing I will say with the intern is it's a lot on our employees because they constantly have to train somebody and then that person leaves. Constantly train, then they leave. You know what I mean? So that gets really old to the employees. It burns them out. It makes them feel like that they don't have a solid helper, you could say. So my thoughts were in the future, and Ed and I have talked about this. We would like to get a part-time person for the front as far as like helping with backup plat room and tax sale and exemptions, like just kind of a person who helps out the whole front,
You have 22,
area.
you have 22K in the plat book maintenance also for part-time.
Yes, but that is for one specific employee. We used to have, before Ed, there was 2 full-time and 1 part-time in the plat room. And we currently have 1 full-time and 1 part-time in the plat room. And the part-time person, that's her salary. Yeah. So, but the part-time right now left in general this year, so I would say some is going to end up going back to general. Depends on how soon we bring in a part-time person and how much of we use of it, but we still have 16,000 in our part-time line in general.
So
Our longevity prorate went down as well. The person that we eliminated the position had a full-time, at 37.5
Good.
plus benefits.
did we give you part-time appropriation this year? Cause it was 20 grand. Must have came over from,
We didn't
Yes.
appropriate it.
Well, it was because
Transfer.
it was cut from the budget last year. It had been re-asked for and never given, and then they came back at the beginning of the year
Is
for
what
that.
we did?
Yes, for
Okay.
part-time and overtime.
Okay.
I thought it was overtime. But that was the other one that got cut. at
It
budget
did,
last
but
year.
I don't know that we appropriated for that. If we appropriated anything, it would have been for part-time. But if it was 20, well, then I still got 16, so, needless to say,
Okay.
we've been hanging on to it. Kind of scared to spend it, you know? As far as, I was gonna say, the position we eliminated, just to let you know, it was at 37.5 with insurance and such benefits. Also had a prorated pay each year of $736 and a longevity of 2,500. So that well exceeds the grants and compliance deputy who doesn't have prorate, doesn't have longevity, and I'm not sure about her specific benefits, but I just wanted to point that out. With, I know something else you guys ask about a lot is our contractual services, so I'm prepared for that. Baker Tilly, just to start off, I know Mr. Hughes always likes to know how much we've spent on Baker Tilly. So we have a invoice code of a BT and a BTMA when it comes to Baker Tilly. And it's for different areas within their business as far as what they help handle here with us. So the BTMA pertains, or I'm sorry, the BT pertains more to like the assistance with the audit and such like that, because they help with the audit. And of course, we have to pay for it. So in 2024, the BT amount was $107,802.67, and the BTMA was $14,676.25. And that was for the year in 2024. Now we are in September, and I just got these numbers yesterday, I believe it was, from Kita, and for 2025, the BT has already exceeded 2024, and it's at 114,426.43, and the BTMA is 17,360. So
Tanya, related question to that. Did Baker Tilly do any pre-planning of the budget for that we're working on now? No,
Mm-mm.
okay.
No, I wish.
Yeah, I know there had been some other projections done in years past, but
I have brought that up. But no, they haven't. And
That's,
a lot of the
Is that total for
expensive,
the organization or for just you guys?
I only asked for numbers for auditor. So that's just auditor.
the work they do for the commissioners and for us, bill separate.
Mm-hmm, that would be paid out of a different line and everything. So when I asked for these numbers, I specifically asked for auditors, bills, you could say. Other contractual services include, we have not sure what that was. We have Unique Computer Services. They do a lot of the work for our conversion and anything from our all of our software systems that have to link. You know how we went through our conversion and then link these programs together and that sort of thing. A lot of the background work that has to be done with that, and especially with the OpenGov and such, you know, all of it from VIP to OpenGov to, what am I missing? I don't know, spacing. And then we've got Brooks and Struble. These are all in professional. We've got we've got professional and contractual. Our budget was weird last year. After things got cut, we only ended up with like $5,000 and some change in professional. So every time I feel like something needs to be paid from professional, because we don't really have a contract with them, I have Keto do a money move in the 300 series, you know, from one to the other to pay it out. So that's just how I've been dealing with professional. So we tried to budget better on the professional line for this year as far as having a better amount in there. So we had it at 10,000. And then
How much is left in contractual today?
our contractual balance as of September 3rd is 62,505.52.
About 71% of the budgeted number, the budget number that they started with, which was
Which is
221.
I named off a couple. We also have a census, which is AKA Nyhart. I think one must have bought the other because we still consider them Nyhart, but our bill goes to a census. Then we have SSI, which is our financial software. We have Dosset Consulting, who's wonderful at helping figure out how we can get money back from all the things that we have to pay. I think that, Peterson Consultants, they help with our capital improvements as far as compilation of our capital improvements for the audits.
is
No.
that a fixed price contract? Or is that
It is. Yes. I believe his billing is just one time, like a one flat rate deal. Nyhart, they're twice. We paid them twice, but it's still a $7,000 contract. And a lot of these that I'm naming off, a lot of it has to do with audits. Like a lot of what we pay has to do with the auditing process.
Is the request for contractual services, it's up 35%, did you pick a percentage and then figure out what the dollar amount is, or was that based on some actual estimate of the dollars you thought you would be spending?
That was, I don't have those exact dollars, Ed
There
does,
are
but they are
actuals.
based on
They're in there.
actual. Good.
They're in
Ed,
there.
Ed did the budget. I'm proud of him. So it's in here. I was gonna say, he has those totals. He got actual numbers. So I can't.
including
Read
the
those
actual
from
number
here.
from Baker Tilly?
What's he got on there for that, Elizabeth?
71.5.
We've already paid them 131 this year.
Oh, wait, sorry. There's a second line. There's two different Baker Tilly. The other one is 128.
So
Baker Tilly.
250.
One of them is for accounting services, the other one is gap.
That's quite an increase.
Those two numbers she routed off are add up to 200,000. Is that right, with Elizabeth?
Sure, hold on.
I just asked Elizabeth to verify. Yes. And I mean, I think Tanya right off 114, 426 plus 17, 360,
So far this year.
131,000.
And what does he have in there as on the breakdown for next year?
128.5 for the gap compilation and 71.5 for the accounting services for Baker Tilly.
So 200 even.
Bless you.
I guess my
Yeah.
concern is since we don't have a contract with them, we're gonna end up using them until we spend all the money. It's kind of, because
You
it's
talking about
there.
Baker Tilly?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, like with the finance committee, the strategic finance committee, I mean, their proposals are estimates. It's, you know, we're gonna build like a lawyer, basically. So if you,
wish them that.
if you use it, you can use it all. So there's no, not to exceed, so to speak.
So we have to discipline ourselves not to
Yeah,
call them every day and say, how we doing?
and I mean, you know, I see both sides. I see the fact that Baker Tilly's got knowledge of us and our systems and other places.
What's government? You gotta think too. I mean,
Sure, but there's
Right,
others,
government.
firms that provide their services to the governments of Indiana. They don't do all 92 counties, right?
If they do a majority,
they do a
do a
lot.
lot.
That's why, yeah.
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 But I mean, in terms of negotiation on contracts, like, this is only one fraction of what we pay them.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we have got to do more to get a reasonable, you know, cap and or reduced rates on the amount of business we do.
As far as repair and maintenance software, we have Adobe, which we just switched to the new, instead of doing the monthly plan, we're in with the one where you just, pay it by the year. And they prorated ours because we had already been paying monthly. We have view only in our office for Xsoft, which coincides with the assessor's office. We have to have that in certain areas of our office.
Your Adobe is in professional services and it's only $264. You're talking about repairs and maintenance software?
Correct.
He's got Guts in here, the taxing software.
Okay. Yeah, that's our
VIP.
property taxes.
SSI employee portal, part of the IP, right? And then Amplifund grant seeker system, which is $30,000. And data management website document storage. I thought we disabled that.
That will probably, my understanding is it's not being utilized, so
But are we still accessing documents into that?
I don't believe so.
I didn't think we were.
I don't believe so.
That's 4,560, so. We were really looking to, nickel and dime.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm. Yeah, on the repair and maintenance software, I consider that, the Adobe, I consider that more software maintenance.
There's three big numbers, or four, really. Guts, the taxing software, is that new?
No, we've had that since.
Where did that cost come out of before? So Guts taxing software is 50,700.
I would assume.
SSI, VIP,
Yep.
both, there's two
Financial.
pieces of it, we pay
Yeah.
for the portal.
SSI, oh, yeah, sorry, I cut you off, go ahead, say what you said.
Those combined are 67,000 or 68,000.
So that's your new employee portal that everyone has access to. And then, there was
The VIP financial software itself is 40,000 and the other one's 28. And then there's this grant seeker, that's new, right?
that just recently got approved, remember? The contract. that
That's
got
for us to
approved
seek
the-
grants?
That's for the, yeah,
Okay.
actually.
So here's the deal on the grant thing, in my opinion. We're investing 30 grand for software. We've got a compliance deputy at 40 grand, that's $70,000. Who's measuring effectiveness this year? Like, I would love to see
That's his plan.
sure,
Is to provide this
Yeah, I
documentation
mean,
to prove it.
Correct.
I would make sure next year, as the year goes on,
Absolutely.
I'm sure Ed will not forget to promote anything we get, but I just reminding him.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was, I mean, his goal is for it to pay for itself,
Right.
that's the whole goal.
But if you look at the increase in contractual and you look at the increase in software, we have a huge delta from that last year. So, and I mean, I don't think you guys are like over your number.
I
You're
will-
at 63% overall for your budget. I mean, it's not like you're over this year, so.
I do want everyone to note though, that the, let me find the name of it, hang on just a second. I just saw.
Whitney or Elizabeth, be awesome next year if well, let's hope we're not using this, but if we did, subtotaling the non-salaries before the totals would be super helpful too sometimes, you know what I mean? So that because you can see the salaries, I mean, you could use the subtraction, I get it, but at a glance, it's a little hard to,
Yeah, we're hoping to,
I'm terrible at math, so.
We did move Work Easy software from our budget to the highways budget, I believe 1176. Okay. Because that was implemented years ago before Ed, and it was a time clock service or software, I guess you'd say.
They're
And
paying for that
They
now.
use that, so me and Carrie was like, why do we have
Right.
it in our budget? So we moved it to her budget.
So that we should see a reduction in your software cost, not a
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So I guess the question is, where were these, I mean, we've been using VIP. We started the portal this year, right?
I think we just look at the increase. When you look at last year and we used Baker Tilly example, like I gave, is what, $122,000 for 2024. And we've exceeded that already and it's September 4th. So we just kind of look at stuff like that. We all know that everything you deal with when it comes to software increases. I mean, you see how
But
IT.
these aren't incremental increases, that's what I'm trying, this money was coming from somewhere previously, that's what I'm trying to understand. So, again, the taxing software, the VIP, that's, 120 grand right there. Those three things, have already been here.
I am not familiar.
And
with
again, maybe they were
the-
just in a different line before, but I don't even, I mean, I guess it was contractual services last year, maybe.
The guts bill.
It's 50,700 according to this. Am I ever seeing that right? Elizabeth?
I would literally have to ask him what that's for.
Okay.
Because it's not in our history. For like this year or
Right.
last year, you know what I mean? So I don't know if this is something new that's going to be happening. I just don't have an answer for you on that one.
Yeah.
Granted, it's a big one, but I don't have the answer on that.
I mean, those two items alone are, you know, $210,000 basically.
Mm-hmm.
Those two lines.
And it was guts and what else?
No, those two contractual services, the increases,
Oh.
the two, I mean,
Okay.
they're enormous.
I will ask him about the guts though. So I don't have that answer. Brooks and Stribble, we do use them a lot for services.
Legal fees, tax sales, deed sales, that type of
Correct.
thing. That's 30,000 under contractual services. Now, I do appreciate that Ed has itemized these things. I can say that. But next year is gonna be a lot easier to see it.
As far as
Just don't have history.
postage and freight, like everyone, just took a stab at it.
Yeah, and I think this was one of those that, there's a stab, but it is way high.
Mm-hmm.
What's the balance?
For their account today, is 19,600.
Yeah, that's way high.
Transportation and conferences and training. The increase on that was because there is a training coming available for the OpenGov. And we really wanted to send a couple of the Elizabeth and Whitney, actually, to the conference. It is held in Chicago though. And so it's not only and then that would be where you see the transportation increase, the conferences and training. Also, we normally always try to send someone who needs the SSI training, the VIP training. Like this year, we have 2 going to SSI, and that runs about 500 just for the conference, you know what I mean, per person, let alone the travel expenses and such. So we were just trying to account for sending several as needed to the conferences, so.
Matt, do you have the breakdown on 393?
Conferences and training.
Do we have a
They're
breakdown,
in the
Elizabeth?
whole $20. They spent 1669 last year.
But it's 11,000 for next year.
Oh, sorry.
There's not. Do you remember what I told you the one in Chicago was per person? Because I don't remember. It was stiff.
Expensive, something.
Yeah.
Expensive, probably.
Mhm.
Chicago.
Right. Do we have a breakdown on the 362? Yeah, that's it.
That's a good.
I got 2 free passes in an email
To your OpenGov.
to OpenGov training in Chicago.
Free?
No, it literally says 2 free passes.
Is it real?
It's from OpenGov. OpenGov.com.
We'll have to look into the
Okay,
freebie.
do we wanna
Start whittling.
get to this? Yes.
Exits out by O'Hare.
We'll start with the salaries and wages requested difference. My recommendation is what I've stated before. If there's money left over, we'll revisit raises, but I'm suggesting going back to 2025 budget on these.
With the exception of that grant compliance person who already exists.
Right, right. They need to be at 38.5.
Yep.
The recording,
We're not under,
the recording secretary,
Sure, some,
111, 101.
yeah, that looks familiar.
that's the one she was asking for an additional amount for. I think what we're saying is not right now.
Okay.
Correct.
And what about part-time?
Was a pleasure on council for part-time.
I'd rather them use part-time.
Well, the question is go from 5,000 to 10,000. I mean, they requested 20 and have used 4 so far. Double that, that's 8.
What about the,
Part-time and
ineligible
another.
standard deduction line item? That part-time number is also 20,000.
We put that in to cover bases.
Cover additional part-time?
Yes. It's outside of county general, never knowing what council is going to do.
Right. It's your backup plan.
That money will eventually, like,
It's also in.
die out, but we did just sign a new contract that has started, like the
The sweep.
yeah, the initial part of that program has started recently, so.
To grow it?
To look for double
Like to look
homesteads.
for the double homesteads and stuff. You only sign a contract with them like every few years. I mean, you can sign it every year, but that wouldn't do you any good.
Yeah.
Is that what the 48K is for that?
That's ISD, that's an eligible standard deduction. That's the fund.
How are we able to, why do we have, well, we'll get to that, I guess. Well, I mean, it's relevant because you don't have a salary line, and you have it part-time, but we have overtime pay, stipends, FICA, perf, all in that ineligible standard deduction.
Correct.
What's
And also
the,
in the practice maintenance.
well, that has a person, well, I mean, it's part-time person, but, well, yeah, that's,
That's that person's salary and,
well, it's part-time.
are you in the, right,
Okay,
but it's one person who's collecting that. It's like their,
right,
Their
but she didn't
FICA,
say on
their
the,
perf.
in the standard deduction one, you're just saying that was an
Or is
overage.
that, Tanya?
He was talking about in the plat, one employee, that's like the FICA and the perf for that part-time person.
Right.
And, well, they wouldn't have perf and
I was just saying
plat.
it's part-time, get perfect.
And how would they
You
get,
know
o-
what?
how would they get overtime too?
Well, the overtime was in there in last year's budget, and that was like kind of a safety net and not knowing what was gonna happen with payout and such if needed. And, it's just still there. But as far as perf, we only pay part-time out of flat room maintenance, so there would not be any perf anymore, so I really feel like that's an oversight, because we used to have. I'm not sure why it's there, to be honest. That doesn't need to be there. I don't see a reason for it to be there. Perf,
Page
This is on
71.
Plat room.
page
We
71.
jumped to
We hopped
page
around here.
71.
That's revenue is 50,000.
Oh, it's for what? For the actual revenue for plat maintenance fund, 63,330.
Full-time day out.
No,
What she said is just a carryover from last year. Haven't used any.
it's also not in general.
Correct.
Can we move the plat room deputy from general to the plat book maintenance fund?
Plat room deputy is part-time and, she's paid out of plat room.
No, I'm talking about from general. Can we move plat room deputy out of general to the plat book maintenance?
107.
I don't have that answer.
107's already been zeroed out.
Oh, I mean,
117, I think is what I'm,
117. Yeah, there it is.
117.
Got a balance of 400,000 as of the end of as of,
63K in revenue in 2024.
that doesn't quite cover it when you are counting all the benefits and.
Well, I mean, but it's overtime pay. You're not paying overtime to part-time, so that's just extra overtime for use somewhere else. I don't know about professional services. I think that's extra. So, I mean, if you take those two things out of the equation, are we? I don't know what the, if this,
We can actually use that professional services line for, if we do have legal or something like that used for plat room purposes, then we can pay it out of that professional services line if it's pertaining to the plat room. It's that sort of thing, for any kind of professional service that we need within the plat room, then we can pay it out of plat room maintenance. As far as all of the, you know, statutes or legalities and stuff when it comes to plat room maintenance fund, I won't pretend like I know them because I don't. It would be something I would totally have to look into, with Ed. And, but I do know that much. As far as the repair and maintenance software line, I believe we're still at 5,000. We haven't needed it for anything. However, we do have software that is specifically for that area of the auditor's office. So if we did need to pay, for it, for any of those, we can pay it out of that software line. And that is, they have a few different ones.
But wouldn't you agree it makes sense to put the plat room deputy in that column?
Does it make sense to?
Yes.
If I was on council, I suppose so.
There's nothing that,
I-
but there's nothing that says we can't.
I
guess that's what I'm getting at.
That, I mean, honestly, I do not know any of the legalities when it comes to this fund. I definitely would want to speak with Ed, you know, on any questions that you guys, big, huge things like this that's happening.
say that again.
I would want to discuss it with him. I wouldn't make the call on that. And I'm sure he, sorry, I dropped something. And I definitely want to check statutes and such as well.
What the employee pays? 78 and 66 per month.
How soon could you do that?
Well, I can check with him on stuff this evening as far as reaching out for statutes and such. That would be an email and hope that they reply by tomorrow, which they normally do. They're pretty quick on that.
Would you mind checking in on that, please?
The total premium is 2,357.91. 28, 285. This year we already brought 42.9, so there's 400 in. Person.
We didn't get very far past salaries. We didn't get very far past salaries and wages, part-time numbers. I think the last one that we discussed, whether we want to keep it at 10 or cut that back a little. Tanya's been diligent with it and used 4,000. Want to put that number at 8?
I'd be okay with 8.
Sounds good to me.
All right, that gives Whitney, Alexis, and Elizabeth numbers to start working on there. Part-time?
Yeah.
Big budget.
Mm-hmm.
Correct, out of the Auditor General. Yeah. I guess a further question on that, Tony, you said that you were having the part-time and the other two funds as backup, because you weren't sure what was gonna happen. Can the part-time out of the ineligible standard deduction fund be used to cover part-time for anything in the auditor's office?
Yes,
Can that part-time be used first as a first expense and then use what's in the general fund?
I mean, is that allowed? Yes.
Okay. I mean, it shows that you've spent 4,000 out of general from part-time. Not getting my page.
I mean, we went through part-time like crazy last year. I mean, with all of our switcheroos. You know, we're a little bit more settled now, and we feel like we know where that part-time is needed. Now as far as total, okay, just roughly, our plat room deputy works roughly 58 hours, like the maximum amount, and it's approximately 22 grand. So,
The bottom line, what I'm getting at is if you can use the part-time and ineligible standard deduction fund first, similar to what Nancy does with their deputies, using out of general and then saving the lit position for last, but using what's outside of county general first. And then if you need to, you can use what's in the county general one. And if so, how much part-time do you need across all three funds? Whether we can work on reducing that number in general. Cause I mean, like Matt was saying, you've got 20 in one fund, 22 in another, and now 8 that that's $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 total. And
well, but the
part-time.
22 covers our part-time employee. Like,
That is an
That's-
employee.
I don't even
That's a-
like
that's a
think about
full
flat
amount.
room. That's
Okay.
just one person.
all right,
and
so
she's
then the
been
20
there
and
for
the
years,
28
and-
in total.
So
between
you're
the
looking at
two.
28 right now.
How much do you really need in part-time for the rest of it?
Well, considering she works the max amount at around 22, I mean, I guess around at least that, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of pushing it, and I don't even know if she kind of
So let me ask you,
misses here and there.
if
so
we kept the 20,000 in the
at least like
ineligible-
25, I guess,
standard deduction, we could take the one in general back to the
5.
5,000. And that's,
I think that's doable.
Okay.
I'm not sure
So-
how Ed feels on all of this, but I'm trying to do my best
Well-
without him, so.
understanding, I mean, there's a lot left in both of those. Whitney, that now cuts that back down to 2025 number. That was my one big question for the three together. You have more on the contractual services, professional services, and repairs and maintenance software. I mean, I think Bill alluded to it, is we have to be very judicious when we're calling or contacting Baker Tilly, Brook and Struble, and others that we're using hourly.
Thank you.
And whether or not we have that ability to control our desire to call them.
Well, there's a huge dependency, and I thought it would get better, but it's gotten worse, in my opinion. So, I mean, if it were up to me, we'd be slashing all of that, a good chunk of this. but
I think in reality with what I've seen Baker Tilly used for, and then now that you have to understand all the changes that our office went through, and
but this is the third year we've been hearing that. Not to be ugly
for
about
me
it.
it's one, but I mean, like, in reality, as far as maybe in the chief deputy position, it's been a little bit over a year. So I guess that's my thought process, but now it's smoothed out and we've implemented all the new things and such, and I mean, been dealing with I'm not gonna sit up here and just tell everything I have to deal with, but
Right.
I'm just saying, I just feel like it will kind of smooth out as far as that goes, but at the same time, I know how rates are, and it just seems to constantly increase when you're talking technology and
I know that's, but
auditing.
I know Ed's not here. That's not what we're seeing here. We're seeing that there's an allocation of these funds for repair maintenance software, particularly, and the Baker Tilly numbers. But the software particularly, it had to come from, I'm just asking for an answer. I think we've already been paying it. I just don't know where it was coming from before. So it looks like the number for repair and software is significantly increased by 144 grand. But the only new thing is the $30,000 for the grant software. So
Could we put some numbers in? Yeah, I mean, with the understanding that Ed's gonna look at them and he can come back and say, no, that's not, you can't do that. So for instance, for contractual services,
Well, I know like the Baker Tilly gap report part, that was one of those other, like, our famous state mandated, unfunded mandates, right? Like.
is that every year?
but we're in year 3.
This is for the gap reporting though, like, I thought that was an annual expense based on the new reporting structure.
It costs us
we had.
$128,000.
We
Yeah,
had to
but
do,
why,
'cause
why
that-
is it, I mean, they did it this year for 198, and now it's 267,
I don't know about the increase, I'm just saying that the gap reporting was a unfunded mandate, cause that happened even when Craig Craft was auditor, that's when that came in. Shauna was still here, it was a big deal that that got passed and we had no choice, it was like one of those things
could
we
we
had
go
to
with,
pay
could
for.
we go with 225?
And the auditing keeps getting more in detail and more in detail. and
The
more in
two
detail.
breakdowns on Baker Tilly from the contractual services is the gap compilation, 128,500, and the accounting services, probably everything else, 71,500.
No, I think we're trying to achieve the same thing with Baker Tilly as a council that the auditor's office is. I mean, I get what the need is. I also see this body that, could we utilize some Baker Tilly assistance also? Could a portion of that be in our budget?
Well, we just presented to the commissioners on Monday, a proposal for them on the strategic finance piece about doing a comprehensive financial plan, capital asset, our asset management, and some other things as part of this future
I like that.
presentation. But I don't remember if,
Is that in our budget or would it be in commissioners?
no, we're asking the commissioners to pay for it.
Okay. Out of their contractual services?
And again, it's a proposed, use it, it's a menu of services, basically.
But we'll get a fixed price on that.
That's not the way it reads. Never reads that way that I've seen Baker Tilly contracts. It'll say for this, estimated is $30,000. This estimated is X, basically TBD. I'm assuming that they try to stay within those parameters, but, there's no guarantee, so.
So if we're back to this contractual services, 311.
I mean, we take it out, we take it out. I mean, that's probably what it comes down to. I don't understand the gap thing either. If we're paying that amount year over year, that's crazy.
That's like an auditing service is what that is. They
The
they
gap
audit.
compilation,
Gap compilation is an audit service. Sorry, I had to look at some paperwork for everything come together in my head. So, in my head, it's like this audit, that audit, that audit. It's all one audit, you could say, in the grand scheme of things, but it starts out with Baker Tilly. Baker Tilly does an audit for this much. And they compile it all together, and then they work with State Board of Accounts and Forbes, which Forbes is the company that comes in and gets into the nitty gritty details of our audit. And so they take what Baker Tilly has audited, and then they break it down into even more detail. So when they say gap compilation, that's what Baker Tilly is doing, is compiling all of the data in order to present this much to Forbes, and then, Forbes does this much and gets all into the details of everything. So,
Only counties of a certain size were mandated.
correct,
to do
over
the gap
100,
reporting.
over 100,000,
Yeah.
yeah,
we're gonna cut back to 5,000
so
and ask them to use it.
he very well may have a quote for that. I really at this time can't remember if he told me he does or he doesn't. But that was what a gap compilation is they're part of the audit.
Here's my, sorry. Well, that's where I'm going
And then,
next.
like, get our hopes up or something, right? Like,
You want my recommendation is this, it's basically we zero out overtime, stipends, office supplies, conferences. We zero those out and make, at this point, Ed can go pull money from those other two funds if that's legally allowed for those areas. I would say even food and lodging. I mean, don't write any of this down, but that's my recommendation. And then we have postage and freight, we take that down to 5,000. Because you're never gonna use 20, and 5,500, I think, was on that list. So,
Now we have tax sale and deed sale.
that we're not this year. That we're not, we didn't do that this year, right? We didn't pay for that this year,
We will be doing that.
for next year.
This year, they will be doing it.
Okay, well, you currently have,
Deed sale got delayed and tax sale hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Know what the actual postage for that is?
yeah, you've got about 16,000 still in there for this year,
We still have tax sale to go,
right?
and deed sale is delayed.
Will that be this year also?
Should be, yes.
Yeah, we're talking about, I am talking about next year, but if the 16, you're saying if the 16 doesn't cover it.
If you're looking at the balance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, our postage is more than what you're thinking.
Well,
as
next year
far as-
also,
Our annual.
We also have the finance department that does all the mailing for
Okay.
all the financial stuff, such as checks and
And W-2s.
W-2,
Yeah. okay, well, leave that one alone then, I guess. I mean, I guess, because there's zero reason in this budget for the auditor's office to make any concessions whatsoever with anything, any recommendations, because the only thing we can see for sure that's been broken down that makes sense is, again, the contractual services and the software maintenance component, which again, I'm just questioning where that money was from before, because it looks like a dramatic increase, but I think a lot of it was paid. I don't know where from. Or the contractual services last year, covered all of that software expense. I don't see why that would be, but anyway, point being, with that Ed here, all these discretionary pieces, there is money available in those other funds, so we just push that off in the meantime, and if Ed wants to come and we can discuss it, then we can figure it out later. That's my opinion. Because right now, it's
So the contractual that I need to question him about is guts, correct?
Well, no, I would question all of it, really. I mean, what was your repair and maintenance for software last year?
Are there supporting documents attached to any of these? There's no story to, okay.
Okay, 170 contractual services. Dues. I mean, yeah.
Can we go start at the top and go down item by item and see what our consensus is that
I'm fine with that.
we seem to be jumping around a bit?
I am, my brain's. No idea.
All right. I assume you're good with starting after salaries and wages?
Correct.
All right. Overtime pay.
My vote is 0.
We're gonna. I
Good with
agree.
that?
Yep.
All right. Stipends.
There's also stipends in ineligible deduction. And they're also in the other one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
I vote 0.
Okay. 0.
It was
Yes.
0 and 24, so last year was the first time we did that. And overtime was 0 and 24.
All right, vision all the way down through long-term disability. Shouldn't change.
I do have the FICA and birth number.
Alrighty, longevity at 3,500, that's accurate.
Yes.
And, longevity prorated pay at 266, that's accurate.
Yes.
Alright,
Do you want the FICA per
let's,
number?
yeah, I just wanted to get through those, so now FICA and PERF, what are the updated numbers?
Got negative 2,477 for a total of 44,424.
Did you say 44,424?
For perf, negative 3,066. For a total of 64,478.
What's the updated salary and wages total? What did we cut? Negative,
Negative negative 32,377.
for 564, 425?
Yep. And then we also have workers' comp, negative 391.
Say that again, please.
Negative 391. For a total of 6,901.
Alrighty, thank you.
Mhm.
Going back down through our list, we're ready for office supplies.
Back to 2025.
I support that.
12,000. Professional services. And I'm gonna throw out a number.
I mean, based on what he has in here, let's see here.
I'm okay with that.
The 26 requested.
I mean, there's 9,336 of that is other. She only gave us a couple examples, but there is 2 other small line items in there. I mean,
Bottom line, what are you saying?
I,
Leave it,
yeah,
At the 26 requested.
yeah.
yes.
Okay. Contractual services. I know Bill threw out a number of 225. Jessica said leave it until we hear from Ed. What's the rest of the council wish?
My thinking is if we start looking at it as stuff we've cut, and then if we really have to put it back in, doesn't matter.
Drop down to 225 like I suggested.
think 225 is a good compromise, and then let him come back.
Yeah.
All right.
I just have a question.
Oh, because you have to itemize it.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of trying to look at, so. I mean, they have to come off the Baker Tilly line, because there's not even enough in the other ones to matter. And again, I mean, if he comes back and says that gap compilation is a not to exceed cost of 128,500, then we'll have to look at it. But I would suggest probably taking out, how much is the difference there?
42,595. What you got?
Yep.
I mean,
I don't think you come off the gap. If that's a quote, I mean, that's mandated.
I
I don't know. if
feel like he did reach out and I'm kind of remembering maybe an email that went out and said, hey, can you give a idea of, you know what I mean? But I'm just not positive and I definitely don't have it here if he did, so.
Well, that's kind of a exact number too.
Well, then take it out of the generic CPA services, I suppose, for now. I don't know. I don't know the
Out
answer
of
to
that
this one.
71.
What is it? What service?
Isn't the generic?
Just the generic CPA accounting services for Baker Tilly, which was currently at 71.5. That cuts it in half, basically, or less than half, more than half.
I mean, last year ran 14.6, this year ran 17.3 on the smaller amount, so it's not really that big of a difference between year to year, so I would say,
Okay.
on the BTMA.
I mean, he may have plans
is
for
what I
that, but
mean.
again, I think we just have to hear from him on that. So take out the 42,595.
Yeah, from the.
Take it out of the 71,500 line.
Which account is that?
It's the same contractual services. It's
No,
just
11,
Baker Tilly, just,
Baker Tilly.
yeah, it's their,
CPA services, part of it, right?
yeah, it's called Baker Tilly CPA Accounting Services.
All right,
I really like this OpenGov app, just throwing that out
ready to
there.
turn the page and we'll go to food and lodging.
I think if you can pay out food and lodging and conferences and training out of the other funds, that goes towards what you were trying to accomplish with moving. And those are discretionary, so I think we zero out both of those.
So food and lodging to 0.
Mhm.
Postage, we just had a discussion with that. You're wanting to leave it at 20,000?
For now.
Sounds like it.
Okay. Transportation,
Is that just mileage? I would assume that's also pertaining to a trip to the north. To the north.
so is that something we move to other
Is
fund?
that like your AIC training and stuff too, that like you and Ed attend?
Well, we first take from elected officials, but this is for if, SSI is in Ohio, and then we're looking at OpenGov in Chicago, and more than one employee at both, so.
I think at a minimum, that should go back to 25. And then if he needs more, he can go get that too.
Agreeable to that.
So you're taking transportation back to 700 and keeping it in this
Mm-hmm.
budget, okay?
Taking off 1,300.
Yes.
Workers' comp, we've been given the new number.
Yep.
Repairs and maintenance, equipment, and machinery.
I think you leave it.
Is the balance still 1690? I mean, I know that's always, repairs and maintenance is a question mark of when you could use it, and it's not a large number.
We don't
So
have.
leave
oh,
it,
yeah,
leave it at
yes.
1800.
Yeah, there's, well, no, they've used, I mean, I don't know which one's which here.
We're currently with Weber and in the leak deal, you know, as far as that goes.
Where's the lease money? Is that allocated in there too? Cause wasn't there a line item for that? You had 1,800 in machinery last year and only $200 has been used this year. I think you just leave the, equipment machinery, the 1,800, just leave it the way it was.
If we need to change that to a lease line rather than a equipment machinery,
Right.
that could be done.
All right, repairs and maintenance software now.
At this point, these are sunk costs. I mean, I think we have to leave it, so.
Exactly at the 26 requested number.
If these numbers are accurate, he's got them in there, that's what they totaled, yeah.
Did you say that there was one that we no longer use that's in this line? or
Yeah,
is
it's
it-
$4,500 though, it's not,
Okay,
and I'm not, I think we'll have to confirm that, but we may be able to pull 4,500 out of there, but I would
That's
wait
what-
for that.
make sure we ask that question. Dues and subscriptions. Tanya, you need the full 2,000 to cover all that throughout the year?
I've only paid that one time and I don't remember what it was.
You paid about 965 this year, so that's, again, I think, well, maybe discretionary to some degree, it's probably more or less discretionary than the other ones. I think it's fine the way he has it.
Keep it at 2,000 and in this budget?
Mhm.
All right, and then the next one, I heard you recommend 0 and moving it to another budget.
That's my opinion.
Sorry, where are you moving it to?
And not moving it, we're just simply stating if you want to use it, go get it from your other fund, the discretionary fund. So we're zeroing it out for now. My recommendation.
You have updated numbers on Elizabeth or Whitney?
Yes.
All right, ready when you are.
Total number of adjustments, you got negative 112,756, sorry.
756.
Yes. Total for the fund, 1,274,778.
Hi, Elizabeth. When you are making those changes in real time, do they real time change on your own screen, or you gotta refresh?
You have to refresh.
Well, when I'm doing the salaries, yeah.
Okay,
But you will have to refresh from my change,
okay.
and it doesn't.
All right, ready to move on to council budgets? Page 41.
May I ask a question before we move on?
Yeah.
How do you expect us to move it to another fund when we can't?
We have to create it.
Like, we've already advertised.
January meeting?
I'll let him know.
Well, to be honest, I don't think you should move it. I think it should be zeroed out, and if you need it, come for it later. Because you'll have the money in those funds. That's my opinion. That makes sense. So if you decide you're gonna send somebody to Chicago, and you need $5,000 for registration, take the $5,000 from ineligible, whatever. That's what I mean.
Come to finance and ask for that appropriation.
And again, if Ed comes back and we've got maybe some further detail on some of this major increases, then I don't know. But to me, at a minimum, I'm trying to make up for the fact that you guys are coming back. You're coming with a lot of more money for a variety of reasons, but so for our project of trying to reduce our money, I'm just trying to shift some of that stuff and say, hey, you got a fund that's kept, getting money. It's about 63,000 in revenue every year. Can't you cover these discretionary expenses out of that? instead of county general.
Every year, but okay.
It's something. And you have a pretty healthy balance in there, so just start.
All right, ready to move on now, the council budgets? Unless I hear otherwise, Whitney and Elizabeth and Alexis, go ahead and remove the requested salary increase. Bill, you wanna go through this line by line as well?
Sure.
All right. Stipends, the next one there,
President's pay.
Same.
keep it the same. And when we get FICA and PERF, we'll update it, but short-term disability down to long-term, we won't adjust anything in there but the FICA and PERF. Longevity was taken out and distributed amongst the departments. Office supplies and other supplies. Want to go back to the 2025 number? For office supplies, just 50, and that's it.
What we bought with it. I mean,
I mean, in theory, it's supposed to be, nameplates, I think, is other supplies, and office supplies is supposed to be for, what, our copies? Our
Budget books.
office
and-
supplies, yeah. Means,
Yeah, the budget books.
Mm-hmm.
we work a good deal.
What did we,
I mean,
I feel like we just looked at last year,
we made some minor adjustments.
yeah.
Anyway, back to it, office supplies, all right, going back to 25,
Yes.
other supplies back to, well, it's the same. Professional services,
Dropped.
correct, and I was trying to remember, Tony, what'd you say we didn't have a contract signed with that we needed the 10,000 for? Okay,
We should get some itemization in here.
Now he did that. You should be proud of him. He come in and did that himself.
This guy,
Yes, he did.
he's getting there.
I didn't see
He's
you in
getting-
here punching.
So we reduced it by 23,250.
correct.
What did we pay out of that previously?
Good question, that was basically what?
Your question was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You have
Well, in
that itemized payout?
2024,
Do you have that
Is
itemized?
that your media? I mean, is
Oh,
that
that
the
would be-
media cost?
I thought we decided that was gonna be contract, cause we were gonna sign something with, or the commissioners would sign the contract with Endpoint if we agreed.
there wasn't one in 2024.
it's got legal publication.
I
Down
mean,
below.
our contract with, or
There used to be,
Council-
this year was
council.
33,250.
Oh, yeah, is it his? Or is
I
he
thought
a
that was the
contract?
17,750,
So 17,750.
correct,
Okay.
and then I think the 6,000 was the anticipated
It's gotta be from Mark.
Endpoint Creative
Yeah.
for the two contractual services.
Mhm.
Now, if we decide to move that all into the GIS's responsibility, that number would be used elsewhere.
Mhm.
But those are the two numbers that I have in budget here for the contractual services.
So could it be
Professional
that,
services
well,
are,
it was higher professional last year and lower this year, and I think that's because that's when we were discussing, do you actually have a contract? And I don't think you guys had an actual contract, you're just being invoiced. And so we decided to increase the contractual and then lower the professional
right.
because you were gonna get a contract.
Question is, the 10,000 that's left, what is that for? And,
It was from Mark. I mean,
no, what is left there? I mean, part of the 33,000.
Did we put money aside in the
For the-
event that we needed to
with-
hire WIS?
I don't know. But here's my statement on
And then
the,
didn't
That-
use it?
the media. We don't have a contract. I don't believe we need one right now. Because we're probably gonna figure out, whether it's that or whatever. we know how roughly, I mean, that 10,000 is more than enough to cover live streaming of our stuff.
6,000 is the number that was used to budget for live streaming.
In the contractual line currently.
Right, and that counted our 13 regular meetings, since we have the reorganization meeting in January, and then all the budget hearings. That's where the $6,000 number came from. 10,000, I think, is right. We left that in there in case we were going to hire out and work with WIS or somebody else that we don't have a contract with. I'm all ears if council has suggestions there.
And we've gotten through this year without needing to use them.
Yeah, with only,
Or reduce it by half.
I'm fine with that.
we've spent 18,379 on professional services. Was that
We've got
left
what?
over?
Maybe. We had 30,000 budgeted in 24,
Spent 18.
and in 25, it was in contractual services, just the 17,750.
I'm guessing that's Wagner, Shealy, whatever.
In contractual services, the 17,750, that's been.
That's been,
No, professional
So
services.
that was Wagner, correct.
yes.
Correct. So that's why we spent 18 this year. We're not doing anymore. It won't be much.
So you want, as Jessica suggested, cut that from 10 to 5?
I would say 10 to 6 to cover what you had for streaming.
6 is in contractual. We cut it from one of the
I
two.
know, but why do we, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I say put it back. That's what I'm
Put it
saying.
back in professional.
I think so.
Okay,
Because there's
So-
not gonna be a contract anytime soon. My opinion.
It's 6 and 5, so we're adding 1,000 there. Make it 11, and then reducing.
No, I think Matt was just saying
I'm
put
saying cut that 10 to 5, to
Okay.
6. to
cut
6,
10,000 to 5, to
to
6,000.
Yep.
Okay,
And then go and cut the 23,750 to 17,750 for Ben,
put the 6,000 there.
in my
Okay,
opinion.
I'm okay with that.
Everybody have those numbers?
So 311 is just a 6.
311 is 17,750. 310 is 6,000.
We haven't cut it.
In 311, the budget for this year is 17,750 and the balance is 17,750.
We haven't been invoiced, I'm guessing.
That's paid out last year.
I mean, this is September.
So,
Ben's fee.
There was a very large lump sum that was paid. We had not been invoicing because at one time it was just automatically paid every month and we never sent an invoice. 6 months went by and we discovered we hadn't been paid, so we sent an invoice. So a big chunk of that was paid last month, I think, something like that. Followed up with Ed, and then we told him we would just send a monthly invoice after that, so.
Answer your question, Jim? I had the same one, so I understand.
Is this, body sure they don't want to include some money for Baker Tilly into the budget to help with next year? And
Fair question.
I really recognize your point, Matt, that there's already, commissioners taking on a role in that regard, but I think this body also maybe need to consider doing something. I don't know what the rest of you want to do, but just a thought.
Do we have any idea what that would look like?
Yeah, I emailed, Baker
Yeah.
Tilly just a minute ago. And, give me just a second, I'll tell you what they say. Okay, beginning not to exceed, amount of 20,000 would be considered. Experience with county budget engagements typically run from 15 to 25,000. So they've hit kind of a middle point of not to exceed 20. I can give you a quick scope of work if you want that too. This is real generic, but scope would be to assist with budgeting, determining anticipated revenues, advise percentage increases per department, assist in maximizing council revenue.
I don't know how they do all that for 20,000.
Not current prices, hourly rate.
I have it in email right here. I can share it with all of you if you'd like.
Send it to us.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We've not really had a conversation about the strategic financial planning group. And that, other than that proposal that Baker Tilly came in, that comprehensive plan, that was asset management plan, that capital improvement plan. I mean, those are going to be, I mean, that was upwards of, I can't find them. Yeah, I can't find them. I had a problem finding it last time. Well, actually, you know what? I have it out. Never mind. I have it. It's probably where it belongs, so I can't find it. Hold on a second. Yeah. Yes. There it is. Okay. Brains on overload. You know, each one of these sections comes with an amount of between 10 and 25K. So, probably a $75,000 engagement if they did all the work that we are going to be asking of them. I guess we probably should, I don't know if Steven's over here.
Yeah.
He's there.
That's a little bit.
It's partially around trying to get a bond rating. It's primarily about the fact that we haven't had we don't have an updated comprehensive financial plan. We know we need major asset review that Ed's office has started, but you know, we need a management plan for that. You heard Don talk about some of the building stuff. That's an example with all of the other assets that the county owns. And then this capital improvement plan, which is if tomorrow this building imploded or something terrible happened and we had to go borrow money, that capital improvement plan plays into our ability to go get that money. For, you know, if tragedy struck or if we needed to go get a bond or whatever. None of those pieces are in place. And then obviously the bond rating is part of that. So all that's playing into this. It seems like we're spending money to figure out how to spend more money, but ultimately none of us work here full time. And we've been meeting bi-weekly basically as a group to try to piece together some of this. The rubber hits the road once we get Baker Tilly engaged, because we're going to have to start getting all the data and put everything on paper. I guess my question though is, do we want to, we're asking the commissioners basically to fund that, or approve this scope. And then in essence, we haven't really discussed how it's going to be funded, but if that's something that they can pull from edit or whatever, but do we want to put money into Brad's point that actually would be used for part of this? That's where I would go with it, not just a generic, how do we do our budget? Because nobody wants to get involved in this process. But you see what I'm saying? So that would be something to think about. I don't know the answer, but.
Based off what Brad said, do you have a suggestion on adding money to one of those lines?
I know we cut the Baker Tilly amount in the auditor's budget. I don't know, is that roughly 50,000? Just a guessing.
40 something.
40 something, okay.
But it didn't really pertain to budget.
It did not.
Do we just not make the?
But if we cut 40 of that from that line item from the auditor, and then we put 25 in our budget, we're still at a net negative. We're still making a cut.
What was your statement?
I was just saying we cut 10 out. Why don't we just remove that, leave the 10 in, and then if we need to, we.
So leave the total of 310 and 311, basically.
Yeah, and then that's half of, if we were to do it. We're looking for 10,000 more. Or we add,
to
I mean,
start.
there's definitely a large value to that, right? Like having that information, I think would be really great. I'd be curious.
This thing we're embarking on is huge.
Yeah, if we have any like counties we can, reach out in the AIC group on Facebook and see who else is utilizing their services and what they think of them for their budget reviews.
Well, this would be more, I
I'm
would
pretty
wanna allocate the money towards the scope that we put presented to the commissioners.
I think
We can
they
do
do.
that kind of counties. I think you might be right.
So also what I forwarded you is, it's also a time and materials, so, you know, if you did, I would put in 10,000 or some amount, you know, it would at least give us the opportunity to have a meeting and have some discussion with them,
Yeah.
not be burning up.
Yeah, I think we just put the 10 back in, let's start, take it
So
from there.
basically leaving lines 310 and 311 just as they are. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
All right. The scope that was in front of the commissioners, have all council received that to review it? Is that a no, Bill?
No, I have.
Can you forward that, please, Matt? All right,
Could you copy me on that too, Matt?
I can send it all to all the council,
Yeah,
that way everybody gets it.
as soon as I get off this
Thank you.
Wi-Fi. So I can
Thank you.
email.
All right, moving right on down to food and lodging. Willing to go back, maybe even further than below the 25 budget.
So, what, I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Line 320 on food and lodging.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jessica made the pitch for it last year. I agree with her that, we've had great involvement in councils attending events, which makes everybody at this table smarter than other people. And I think that's a huge win, and if everyone's still willing to do that, to me, now, I haven't turned in any receipts for the
I
year,
haven't either.
so,
I haven't either.
I'm doing it on my own dime currently, but, I think it's valuable. That in if the conference is, I'm not sure, because we still are allowed to use that elected officials training fund, right?
If there's money left over.
If there's
That's
money
how it
left
reads.
over, so, anyway,
So some of that.
and then we haven't really put
Hey,
any,
like if we go to the next one that's in
French Lick.
French Lick. If more than one of us goes, right there, you'll be tapping into the elected officials one theoretically. As long as there's
My
money there.
thought last year was just for the annual county council event in June, making sure we had enough budget to cover
Conference,
everyone for that. Anything else has been kind of on our own. If we want, I know there are some individuals who attend the annual convention down in French Lick. I think Dan's gone a few times.
I mean, also the district meetings that the
District meetings
AICC
have
puts
been
on.
fantastic. Those, I almost find those more
So-
beneficial, just all the
I mean,
benchmarking we
Back
can
to
do.
Matt's point, the food and lodging, I
Mhm.
mean, what number you wanna put in there?
The June meeting, doesn't AIC pay for lodging? Thought they paid for one night if you were more than 50 miles away or something.
I don't think so.
Is that correct?
No, I just put my credit card down, never sent in a receipt.
Yeah.
Why don't we put, whatever we put down, let's just make it on a first come, first served basis, whatever money's in there, it's first come, first served. When the money runs out, everybody's on their own.
We can hit the elected officials if there's anything out, but
I'll put 1,000.
I'm good with that.
Which one are we on?
321, putting 1,000,
So cutting by 15.
yes.
Okay.
Transportation,
Never turn in
anybody?
mileage.
I'd take it to 0.
Brad says take 0, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Legal publications,
The newspaper, right?
as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Probably needs to stay.
probably need to stay where it's at.
I it's very small amounts every time. It's like, 20 some dollars, 30 some dollars, just depends on how much is printed, but
How much have we spent?
I mean, halfway through the year, we spent $150,
Well, you probably cut it back to 250
Well,
or 300.
300.
we've added at least two more.
Yeah, we have at least
300.
We cut it by 200 for a total of 3.
Everybody hear that? All right, workers' comp will get here in a moment. Conferences and
Why
training.
is it that we're gonna get injured on the job?
Walking down the
you
street,
could fall down those steps.
Push your chair back a little too hard and
have you not seen this thing? It's a death trap.
Yeah, right.
there's like a 15-inch drop behind us.
Never mind.
All right, conferences and training. I think I heard 700 is the number we're willing to stick with.
$100 each, yeah.
We have the updated FICA per from workers' comp numbers.
Yes.
Ready when you are.
FICA negative 324 for a total of 8,097. PERF negative 474 for a total of 11,855.
We have nobody taking health benefits? Anybody?
Not that I've ever
Not
been
that I'm
aware of.
aware
I'm
of.
not taking them.
I'm not.
Not either.
Do what?
Are you taking the health benefits county offers?
Not in here.
It's not in here.
Workers' comp negative 50 for a total of 1,271. You want the final numbers?
Yes.
Do we need to add?
Well,
We
we
need to
have
get
to
a,
develop.
Oh, Jim has help.
Is it, and nobody else? Dan?
No, I'm on the cities.
Do we need this? Do you have your rates, Stephen?
I got them right
he's
here.
got
You
it.
do? Okay.
Employee spouse?
Yeah, it's already in here. The line just wasn't pulled through.
Oh,
It's on him, but it's not
It's
not pulling through and opened up. She's gonna have to add it.
$173.
Yes.
Okay. Vision is 168 for vision, and then 169 is dental.
Do you have that health insurance number, or Elizabeth? Okay.
Yep.
168, which is the vision.
Okay, 1 second.
Side right there.
167. 179.
Thank you, Ben.
Wait, this is for the 2025 budget.
26 budget.
Yeah. We'll be on.
Oh, you won't?
scratch what you're
You're not
calculating
on
then.
it for next
Won't be
year?
next
Oh, so then never mind.
Like not at, like, as of January first, you're good.
Well, my wife will be off of it in October, but I have to stay on it. I guess just for myself, and probably pay for her as well through December.
But it'll, okay. I just wanna make sure you didn't need like January or February, you know what I mean?
Okay, so take them all back out.
You have new totals for us?
Well, they did have.
Yes, I have them.
Ready.
Total amount of adjustments, you have negative 7,333. Total in the fund, 166,674.
Alrighty,
I had 156.
I have the same as,
You have 156.
yeah, you take 7,000 off there, it's not 156, it's gotta be 166.
I have 166,674.
Yeah.
Hey, just read down, just don't
Yeah.
read the names, just read down, other than salary and wages.
So starting at FICA, I have negative 324.
No, just the number, final number starting
Oh, the totals?
stipends, 1,500,
Zeros. Oh, I added those. Okay. So 967, 8,097, 11,855, 785, 509, 0, 50, 50, 10,000, 23,750, 1,000.
okay, that's where I am.
Okay,
I thought we had made that 6,000,
we did, and then we removed it for potential Baker Tilly help with.
okay, 23,750, got it.
Yep.
We're good.
Okay.
Alright, ready to move to county council lit?
Page is that?
Page 65. You remember when we were in discussions of the pension, Bill recommended doing the minimum and moving it all to lit.
And the minimum was,
Again, 1,409,000. So I have it written out, 1,409,000.
sure, I wrote it somewhere.
So we're gonna have to add. One more time, 1,409,063. Okay. We're adding 9,063.
If we have made enough cuts from the others. I
Could
think-
have.
Yeah, cause I see a
Salaries.
12 and a. I removed
Be the other
1,000 from sheriff, 12,000, or 357 prosecutor. But, well, yeah. Close to it.
Oh, yeah, we cut it off.
Here's, I think Bill alluded to this in previous meetings as far as how much we've brought in lit public safety. And, this is what I went home and sort of crunched numbers on, just give some councils food for thought on this is the pension. I really would like to see us at least at that mid number. Based off of, in my opinion, the expected revenue, which is higher than the estimated 26 revenue we received from DLGF as far as that number. I think we can cover that minimum, or that mid number, and still be safe as far as what our numbers are. Now, our issue is, we'll be posted higher than what the lit
Right,
number is.
appropriation.
So, like I said, it's just food for thought, and we'll have to discuss it come January. But that's my opinion. And hopefully by January, we'd also know truer numbers for lit revenue.
So we're gonna advertise at the minimum and change it in January.
Possibly.
Is that what you're proposing? Which I'm not against.
Yes.
So when you say I need to come back and ask you to appropriate
No,
Yes.
yes,
you guys will give a on your side?
it's our side. That's us.
That would be in our,
That's our purview.
but like I said, I want council to think about that, and between now and January, we'll have time to figure out what numbers come in there as well.
Are we going ahead and adding the 9,063 now?
Yes, I believe we should definitely do that, the 9,063, to make sure we have covered the
Minimum.
minimum.
What was the midpoint, Nancy, do you remember?
1522541.
Thank you.
While we're kind of on that subject, I had been pursuing the idea of taking some $400,000 out of our lit supplemental, putting it in rainy day, and a lot of work went into that. Obviously, in view of the budget information we've been working with, I don't know that that's gonna be possible. After we get the budget done, we can go back and look at it, but, I'm not as excited about it as I was.
All right. Does council have other comments right now, specifically regarding lit? No. I've been asked a few times by a few people what we're wanting to go over tomorrow and who we're gonna invite back to discuss their budgets with. And I feel like we need numbers. Are we comfortable with the numbers that you're gonna rattle off to us as far as where we're at so far, Jessica?
I'll make him look them over with me and you can look at them too after we get done here and
Right, I-
double check.
Trying to
Or
figure
I
out
can
if
do it
be-
now-ish.
Before we get done here, that's what
Yeah,
I'm,
I
'cause
mean,
we got a lot of people in the audience would like to
It's-
know if they
it's-
would need to be back here tomorrow to see at
best,
the podium.
yes, without having updated Cume Bridge numbers. So going through with all of our cuts and adding in the 81,680 in, give backs for 25, the updated 600,000 in interest revenue for 2025, and the 600,000 between the jail and interest revenues for 2026. That leaves us, based on the information we were provided at the beginning yesterday, we have basically 2.9 million left to go. 2,871,363.
Does that include the adjustment that I suggested based on the actual max levy from last year?
Not yet.
So it could be as low as
1.8.
1.7, 1.8.
Yep.
And Jessica, we should have had the final numbers for Cume Bridge. It was motor vehicle highway that we hadn't done yet.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I thought-
10,000s, 20,000, 30,000 series, that'd be highway levy.
Okay, then we did. Okay, well then, yeah, then those are the numbers.
I do want to double check that you still want us to change those just because it is a massive department outside of county general. It would take a lot of time to change it and then change it back if you guys decide the salaries need to go back up. Just want to double check if we need to change that. just saying it could be a lot of work if you guys do decide to give them the raises. So
I understand. Council understand the question, and if
It's
have,
going against our max levy, though, correct?
no,
that one does not.
But don't people get paid half and half out of
Some
funds that
do.
do, and then,
there is some, and those ones were already reduced when we did the other changes
oh, okay.
because OpenGov has an allocation.
Combined.
Yes.
Yes.
I just think you can hold on it if you guys want to. We're putting you through a lot of pain, so.
I just want to make sure because if we work on it
Just
tonight
that you would
and
prefer
tomorrow
if
you
we
were
just
like,
wait.
let's go ahead and leave that in there.
Leave the raises in?
Just don't, they don't have to do anything with it right now. They'll take them out after we're done.
They don't play into our max levy.
Nothing we're calculating matters in that.
We just didn't want you to change your mind later and it take another 2 days for
Yeah,
us
no.
to fix.
I agreed to hold off.
Hey,
For now.
Jessica,
Yeah.
can I change gears with you a second? When Brad Polk was in here, he talked about the interest that he had generated. Has that been figured into your numbers
Yeah,
also?
yep,
It
so
has?
there's,
Okay.
from what he advertised as his interest for the remainder of, this fiscal year, I have that 600,000, and then between the extra revenue of 300,000 from the jail, and then, Brad gave us another 300,000 for next year, combined for 600,000, so yes,
I thought he said $2,024,003.
that's the total.
That's all of it.
Yeah,
so
so
you
he already
figured out-
advertised some of that,
Yeah,
this, all I can add is what
What?
was new.
got it.
Did you get the number on give back from the health department?
I did a search for the word give back in my notes, and I have there 28,000 here. Yeah, so our give backs are 10,000 for the prosecutor, the courts have a variety, we have a 500, a 13,130, a 30,000, Board of Health is 28,000.
So it's been included in there.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, Tanya?
Yes.
Can I get a 2024 payroll report of all employees? That shows amount earned for the 2024 year? Please?
If you have access to Gateway, you can Yeah. pull that straight from the, was it
We don't have login credentials.
They can't see what we see.
not the public side?
Well, probably on the public side,
It's-
but I don't know what.
Yeah, that's
all
public
find on the
information, the
public.
100R. That should have that
100R?
total in there.
Like in the reports or whatever?
You
Yes.
Go to the state board of account side, not the DOT.
Yeah, the gateway, and
and
so,
pick out 2024.
hold on. All right, I'll look for that. If I don't find it, I'll let you know.
I'm in reports now, how do you search for it?
On the right hand side, it should have one that's called 100R.
No.
Yeah, her
I
stuff
got it.
was like,
Well, employee compensation,
Where are you?
okay. I will look, I think this might be it, so I will, scratch that idea, unless you hear from me. I would like Brad to come back. I wanna know if last year I asked about a line of credit, regarding the operating balance. I don't think nothing was done with about that. We deal with postage. We have to make a decision on the commissioner statements about savings for next year. We need to deal with the health insurance premium question. These are just my list. I think that's it right now.
Find that report, ladies.
You did find it?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd like to have the treasurer and the commissioners available.
Correct.
Did you rattle off another department in there with what you were saying?
No.
Specific? No?
Oh, in terms of departments.
Yes. I'm trying to give those that we would like to have in front of us to ask questions to, just to make sure they're aware today that would like to have somebody here. to
I had in
represent them.
addition, I had the sheriff, 911 and the courts.
Sheriff, Communication Center, and the courts.
And just a reminder, courts was also a large one, I think, that we didn't get finished, right? Or was it multiples of the courts? Okay.
We have multiple. That's one, we're gonna have to sit down and go over CASA and.
For the salary decreases.
So that's still outstanding. Focus on that, how about that?
From council, other departments we'd like to have. I believe all those departments are here with us except the treasurer, and I will reach out to him and make sure that he is available, or at least somebody from his offices that can answer our questions, or your specific question there, Matt.
Could we do 9 AM start tomorrow?
Absolutely, I was just gonna ask what time everybody'd like to start tomorrow.
The mayor has a golf outing, we'd like to.
You'd like
be
to
there
go
for the meeting.
golfing?
Well, I was supposed to, but I'll actually just say hi.
We split the difference on that?
9.
Well, I've got a recommendation for a little bit later.
Like 10?
Yeah, you,
I'm good with 10.
how does 10 AM work for everyone?
Sorry, hold on 1 second.
Does that mean that we don't have to come till 10? I'm just waiting.
You don't have to come up here till 10.
But we'd like to make sure all those numbers are ready, and we're giving you time in the morning tomorrow to get them done. How's
Some of your
that?
other
So,
work done.
so Eugene, I have a 10:30 call tomorrow that I have to be on, but it shouldn't take 10 minutes. I might step out and step right back in.
Are you all right with us starting at 10? And
If you start at 10, that would be good.
okay.
Yeah.
Everybody else?
Make it work.
All right. We'll start at 10 tomorrow. Anything else from council before we recess? All right, we're in recess.
Break.